Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we start today looking at the game, I would just like to take just a few seconds to say thank you to all of my viewers, especially my subscribers, everybody who makes the effort to comment and converse and discuss and tell me when I'm going wrong. This is my 100th video, and like I say, I would just like to say a big thank you to everybody who has watched and been involved with this channel. And let's look forward to the next 100, 500 or more videos. Anyway guys, thank you very much. Let's get back to the games. You barely made it to the lunar surface with your spaceship. Out of fuel, you set down in a crater and view the airless landscape before you. Somewhere, there are the fuel tanks you need. Can you find them in time? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are looking at a Todd Sanders game, a very prolific board game and card game designer. He has a lot of games, many of which are Solitaire and most of which are free to download from Board Game Geek. So Todd Sanders and Air and Nothingness Press, they really have a lot of different games that we can actually play and try and enjoy. Todd Sanders has a very, I wouldn't say unique, but a very recognizable view towards game design and aesthetics, graphical elements. I mean, it's very recognizable when you see one of his games. And a lot of them are very pretty, including this one, Crashland, which is the one we're going to be looking at today. This is a solitaire game, and you have to find 3 rocket fuel tanks and then get back to your ship before your spacesuit runs out of oxygen or battery power, which if any of them drop to 1, you're dead. The game's over. It has a pretty large footprint, 6 by 5. You'll be using the map cards to create this the map grid that you'll be playing on. And then you'll have a deck of event and equipment cards that you'll be turning over and using during the game to see what happens and what you find. And these can affect your search, they can affect your battery power and also your oxygen. There are rules regarding movement, but we'll go through the basic game rules as we play the game in a little while. Now, what do you need for this game? What's included in the download? Well, you have the rules, obviously. The rules are 2 pages. So I've printed them back to back here. Now, I've printed this on card for the purposes of doing this video because I don't want the paper to blow away with the aircon and the fan. But I have also printed onto paper because what I'm planning on doing is creating a tuck box for this game, a card box, and I'll be able to fold the paper rules and put inside the box with the cards. Now, the game itself is very simple. Like I say, we'll go through the rules once we start playing, and we'll learn by playing. But let's take a look at what else we get in the download. So as well as the 2-page rules, we also have a lot of cards to print. And the cards will be double-sided. There will be a front side and a back side. And you have to be very careful and make sure that you get the correct backs to the correct fronts because they are different depending on what the cards are. Now, these ones are the map cards. And they have this as their back, except for this one, this is your starting location. So this card, again, you have to make sure you get the right back for this. Now, the map cards are very pretty. The images are actually representations of the lunar surface, and they are based on images, real lunar images provided by the US Geological Survey and also the Lunar and Planetary Institute. So it's the real thing. But like I say, they have been colorized and they have been made pretty. So when we arrange them in the grid, the 6x5 grid, it's going to make for a very colorful board when we play them. However, when we create the grid, they're going to be face down to begin with. I'll explain the reasons why when we come to actually play the game. But to begin with, your 6x5 grid won't be very pretty. It'll be this. All right, so what we have is I think it's a 30 cards for the map cards. There'll be 30 of those. There are also event and equipment cards, which are these ones here and here. And again, these have a back to the cards. So again, you've got to make sure you get the right backs for these cards. And this one here, again, has 3 map cards, and then we have the event cards. Now, there are a total of 21 event and equipment cards. But there was a comment on Board Game Geek basically asking whether we can double the quantity or double the size of the deck. Because what happens is that when the event and equipment card deck runs out, you're supposed to sort of get the discards and reshuffle. And somebody commented on Board Game Geek that it was happening too often. So he asked, could I just print another set of event and equipment cards? And Todd replied saying, yeah, why not? It doesn't matter. So we'll play with the basic 21 card deck and we'll see whether we need another set to be printed. What else do we get? Okay, so this card represents your space suit. It has space for you to put the 3 tanks as you find them. It also has a gauge on either side, one for your oxygen and one for the battery. Battery. What else do we have? Okay, that's also cards. All right. On one of the sheets, there will also be 2 cards which are like quick reference for the rules, back and front. But these also have arrows. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put these cards either side of this. So these arrows on these cards will be used to point and show where on the gauge or how much oxygen and battery you have left. If you don't want to do that, it's not a problem. You can just use markers or Euro cubes or dice to actually keep a check on where you actually are. But in the game, he does provide those arrows on these cards to represent pointers. Again, I'll show you when we play the game. I'll be using these in the game. What else is there? Well, there is another page where we have tokens if you want to use tokens. This represents you and your current location. This represents your spaceship location. And then these represent the fuel tanks that you're trying to search for. There is also some box labels if you plan to put into some kind of general box. You can actually stick these on the top and front to adorn, to decorate the box if you need to. So this is what you have. You have one page here with the tokens and the labels. You have another 6 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which will be double-sided. So that's 12 sheets that you need to print. Now you have options, of course, you always have options. You can print double-sided like I've done. My printer is not the best at centering, so I don't know how accurate these are. You can always print one-sided and then just stick the correct front with the correct back together. Or you can use card sleeves, in which case you can print single or double-sided. If it's single, you don't even need to glue them together. You just put the front and the back and you slide it into the sleeve. What I'm also going to do for the event and equipment deck is I'm going to be using a corner cutter to make them rounded corners to make them easier to shuffle and things. But for the map cards, I will not be doing that. I'll be leaving the map cards as pure rectangles, because otherwise, when I create the 6x5 grid for the map, having those rounded corners is going to leave gaps in the grid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut everything out. I'm going to prepare everything, and then we are going to learn how to play Crashland. Join me in a couple of seconds. Right, we have our table set up. We have our grid here, which is 6 cards by 5 cards. So this is all 30 of the map cards, which create our playing area. Notice that one of them does have a different back. This represents my starting point. So we will flip this card over. This represents where I begin. I'm not sure the relevance of why I need to put a spaceship token on there, because there's a spaceship marker anyway. But this is where we are going to be starting our game. And we've got to try and find 3 fuel tanks. And the way that we do that is by finding the beacons. Now, before we start, let's have a quick run through of the rules. Okay, let us start with the space suit. So here is the card that represents your spacesuit, along with the quick reference cards that are placed to the sides with their arrows to indicate the status of your battery and oxygen. And you'll also see that there is space there to put the 3 fuel tanks once we find them. Now, there are 2 decks of cards. There is the map card deck and the event and equipment card deck. The map cards are used to create the grid, 6x5, so 30 in total. And there are 4 main types of map card. There are the basic plain cards. There is the start card, where you begin your journey. There is also a dome shelter card. I think there are 2 of them in the deck. There are also beacon cards in the map deck. And there are 3 pairs labeled 1, 2, and 3. And you have to find the pairs to find the fuel tanks. So it's kind of like not really a memory game, because the cards won't be flipped backwards, but you have to find the pairs of numbers. You have to find both number 1 beacons. You have to find both number 2 beacons in order to locate the fuel tanks. I'll go through that in a second. There are, in the event and equipment deck, there are 4 different types of equipment cards, but you'll need to have pairs in order for you to use them. Having one of a certain equipment card is no use. You need to have a pair to actually use them. Also, you are only allowed to have 3 equipment cards at any one time. So you've got to think about which ones to keep. For the dome shelter, you need a pair of dome shelter cards in order to use it. So the dome shelter cards are no good on their own. You have to have located a dome shelter on the map in order to use the dome shelter cards. In terms of events, there are 7 different types of events of varying nastiness. As you draw from the event and equipment deck, if you draw multiple event cards, only the card with the highest number takes place. The cards with the lower event number get discarded. We'll go through exactly how they work in a second. So each turn has 3 phases. You have movement, events and equipment, and then systems check. So first of all, for movement, you move your spaceman from one card into an adjacent card. You then reveal each map card that you move onto. And you can move left, right, up, or down. Your first 2 moves are free. Okay, and there are no diagonal moves allowed. But you can move more if you want to. But each additional move that you make per turn, you have to -1 from your battery or your oxygen. So you can move like Speedy Gonzales around the map, but you'll end up with no oxygen and no battery. All right, so in this example, we may have found, I mean, if you look to the left, there's actually a dome shelter card, but on the right, we see with the circle, we have found the first beacon. And this is for fuel tank number 3. You see the number 3 inside the beacon symbol. So what this means is, well, this is the horizontal beacon. You can see that the arrows are pointing left and right. So we know the fuel tank is on that row somewhere. Yeah, fuel tank number 3 is on that row. Now we have to find the other beacon for fuel tank number 3. As we keep moving, we have now found the second beacon, and you'll see that the arrows are now pointing up and down. So what we can do here is we use the horizontal and vertical beacons, we triangulate the position, and we can find the location of fuel tank 3. And then all we need to do is move and collect the fuel tank and find the other 2. Right, the second phase is the event and equipment phase. And in this phase, you will draw 3 cards from the equipment and events deck. You reveal those cards, and you can keep any equipment that are there. However, you have a limit of 3. You can only hold 3 equipment cards. Any event cards, you will have to... Okay, the one which has the highest number takes effect, okay? So if you look at the cards, there are actually 3 points of interest. First of all, the graphic on the left-hand side tells you what system is being affected by this event, whether it's battery or oxygen. The number at the top, which is inside the red triangle, tells you how many points you lose of that system. And the number at the bottom on its own is the event number. And what you do is every time you draw 3 cards, if you have more than 1 event card, you take the one which has the highest event number. All the others are discarded. So in this example, we would have the static charge event because it has event number 3, which is higher than the crater shadow, which only has an event number of 1. Now, with that event, we are going to lose 1 battery. That's what's telling us. So we move down the quick reference sheet, we move down the marker, we have lost 1 battery point. And this is done every turn. If your event and equipment deck runs out, you pick up the discard pile, reshuffle, new deck. The third phase is the systems check. During this phase, you have to see whether your battery or oxygen is below 1. If that's the case, you die, game over. If at the start of phase 1 movement, if you have all 3 fuel tanks and are back at your starting point with the spaceship, then you win. Easy as that? No, it's not that easy. Have a look at this event. This is event number 6. So it's quite likely that this is the one you're going to have to pick when you have multiple, and you're going to lose 2 oxygen. Yeah, this game is tough. It's simple in terms of mechanics and gameplay. It is simple, but it is quite tough. Right, that is the rules. Let's now proceed with the gameplay. Now, as you can see, I have sleeved all the cards. I'm hoping that the reflection from the lights isn't going to be an issue with the recording. I shuffled the map card deck and I dealt them out in a 5x6 area. I have my starting location here. The equipment and event deck has been shuffled. I have my fuel tanks here, which I need to find. I have my card, my spacesuit card, with the quick references here with the arrows. I may change this in future games. I may just end up putting cubes or dice or something here instead, because these are quick reference cards, and I may I may want to flip them over to have a read, and then it's like, oh shit, what number was I? So yeah, I think future games I may I may end up using some kind of cubes to actually place on here instead. But this is what we have. Right. So like we saw just now in the game rules, there are 3 phases: movement, event and equipment, and then systems check. There's no time limit in terms of the number of turns. It's simply a case of whether you die or whether you find all 3 fuel tanks. There is no time limit. So let us begin. Now we are starting here, which is not the best location to start. I would much have preferred somewhere in the center because it would have meant returning would be a lot quicker. So let us move. Now we can move 2 spaces for free. Now do I want to kind of go sequential or do I just want to go random? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here first and see what we find. So my first move, I will move to here. We will flip the card. And it's just a plain map card, so there's nothing there. So that's free. Your first 2 moves are free, so I will then move down again. And again, there's nothing here. Now, do I want to risk another move? Because the next phase, I've got to take 3 cards, and normally there's a lot of events in there. So I think I'll take 1 point of oxygen in terms of damage, and I'll move 1 more card. And it's plain again. I found nothing yet. All right. So I've taken 1 point of oxygen because I moved 1 additional space. So I moved 3 places. Right. So that will be the end of the movement phase. I'm not going to move any more and cost any more. We now take 3 cards from the equipment and event deck, and we see what we have. These are the cards that I have. Okay, well, I mean, these are good. Solar recharge can give me +2 battery. I mean, I haven't taken any damage in battery yet. Satellite uplink, I can look at the top 6 cards in the deck and rearrange them in any order I like. So this can be quite useful. But we have 1 event. So since there's only 1 event, I have no choice. It has to be this one. So this has an event number of 5. It is 1 damage to battery. Dust in the servo mechs. So we take 1 damage on the battery, or we drain the batteries by 1 point. So this goes in the discard, and I can keep up to 3 equipment cards at any time. So I'll keep those there for the moment. Systems check. I'm still above 1, so that's not a problem, and I haven't found any fuel tanks left. So we continue to the next turn, turn 2. So I'm going to move here, which is free, plain again. I'll move here, which is also free, plain again. What the hell? All right, do I want to risk it again? Okay, the thing is I've got a solar recharge, which can give me 2 battery back. So I can afford to lose another battery. So I'm going to move over to here. I will take 1 point in battery. And reveal this card. Okay. So this is a beacon for fuel tank 1, and it's the horizontal beacon. So I know that the, what's it called? The fuel tank is somewhere here. Now, in this game, I think the fuel tank can be in a location you've already explored, depending on where the other beacon is. Maybe you didn't notice it. Yeah, so it can be in a previously explored location. I think that's how it works. All right, so we've taken 1 extra damage because we drained the batteries 1 extra because we removed 1 extra point, and then we've got a beacon. We've got the first beacon. Good. Bad is that we've now got to take 3 event and equipment cards. Now, I would very much like 3 equipment. We get 3 equipment. Very nice. Right, so what do we get? Now this looks good. I've got 2 pairs and I've got a jetpack. However, at the end, okay, before we get it, you can spend equipment cards during the movement or the systems check phase, not the event and equipment phase. But at the end of the event and equipment phase, you can only have a maximum of 3. So even though I've got 2 pairs, I can't keep all these. I can't use these yet. Now I'm thinking that I will... Do I want to keep the jetpack? Jetpacks are useful. This is useful, but I can use this next turn. So I think I'm going to get rid of these for the moment, and I'll keep these because, like I say, at the end of this phase, you can only have 3. You can't use them in this turn. You can only use them in the movement and systems check phase. So I'm going to keep these. I'm going to use these next phase. Okay. So that's the end of the event and equipment phase. Now we come to the system check phase. I'm still fine here, but I'm going to use my solar recharge. Again, remember, you have to have a pair before you can use them. So I've got 2 of these, and what it does, it gives me +2 battery. So I'm going to use those to make some space for some more equipment, and I get back 2 battery. Okay. So now we go to the next turn. Turn 3, I think. I'm not going to keep track of all the turns. All right, so we can now move. Should I keep going around in a circle? The thing is, I know that beacon 1, okay, so the first fuel tank's on this row. So I don't want to venture too far away from this row because I know that somewhere here is going to be one of the fuel tanks. Okay, so we will travel to here for free, plane, and then here for free. Okay, we've found beacon 3. So we know that fuel tank 1 is here on this row. We're now being told that fuel tank 3 is on this column. Okay, lovely jubbly. Now, should I do... Yeah, let's go another 1. I will take 1 point in battery. Okay, that's on max. So I'm currently on 8 battery and 8 oxygen, still pretty healthy, but I will move another space up to this one. And it's just a plain map card. This is going to be very pretty. I do love this game design. It's going to be very, very attractive once we reveal the whole map. Okay, so we've moved three spaces again. I've taken the damage or whatever. Now we have 1, 2, 3. 3 cards for stage 2. Phase 2, sorry. Okay. Oh God. Okay. So we have. Let's move the jetpack out of the way. These are the cards that I drew. Right. So satellite uplink. So okay. So that's an event. So I can keep all 3 of these equipment. But we do have an event, and it's a nasty one. This is number 7, or event number 7, level 7. 2 damage to battery. Ugh. So my battery is now down to 6. Ugh. Ugh. And since there's only 1 event, that was the only one I had to take. Okay. But we've now got 3 equipment. So that's the end of the second phase. Third phase, systems check. I've got no pairs, so I can't do anything there. I'm still healthy enough here. Right, we're done. Now for the next turn, movement. Now, should I continue up here or should I move across? I think I'm going to continue up. So I've got 2 free moves. So I move up to here, plane, and move up to here. Oh, okay. So we've got 3 beacons now, but they're all for different fuel tanks. Bastards, I got 1 of each. Number 1, horizontal, number 3, vertical, and number 2, vertical. Okay, so fuel tanks 2 and 3 are going to be on here. But I've got to find the horizontal beacons to let me know exactly which one it is. Okay. Should I risk going any more? No, I don't think so. Should I risk going 1 more? I haven't found there's 2 dome shelters here. I haven't found any of those yet. I've got 1 dome shelter card, which would be very useful. The jetpack can be useful getting to... Okay, so the jetpack basically allows you to move to any card on the map in 1 move, and it costs 1 battery to do it. But it's like you can move from here to here basically if you want to. So that's very useful. Satellite uplink is also useful. The dome shelter, you can actually heal back a load of stuff. But again, you need to have found the dome shelter here, and you need to have 2 dome shelter cards. But you can raise one of your systems by 3 levels, so either oxygen or battery by 3, or you can raise both of them by 2 levels. So it's very powerful if you can find the bloody place. What the hell? I'll drop my oxygen by 1, and I'll go up 1 more. And what we find is bloody empty. Tickable. All right, second phase is the event and equipment stage. 1, 2, 3. What have we got? Ooh, okay. Oh shit. All right, so we've got we've got a bad. Okay, let's move these ones out of the way. So these are the cards that I got. Let's have a look. Now, we have this event here. There's only 1 event, so this has to happen. It's 2 oxygen. So my oxygen is down to 5, and my battery is down to 6. So the event happened. Now, I can only have 3 equipment cards. Now, the dome shelter would be extremely useful, so I'm going to keep those. I can only carry 1 more. So do I want to keep the jetpack, the solar recharge, or the satellite? To be honest, I think the solar recharge is probably going to regret this night. Right, so I'm keeping 2 dome shelters and I'm keeping the solar recharge. So I'm currently on 6 battery and 5 oxygen. Okay, systems check. I can't use this yet because I haven't found the dome shelter. So nothing happens in system check. I'm still okay. Next turn. Right, we got 2 moves for free. Again, we can't move diagonally, so I will use my first move to go here. Nothing. I think I'm going to go down rather than across. So my second free move. Damn, nothing. Again, do I want to risk that extra? Because again, I've got. I'm going to have buggery happen. I need to try and find stuff, don't I? And again, I haven't found any dome shelters yet. Okay, I'm going to move 1 extra, and I'm going to take it on battery. So I'm at 5 and 5 now. So we're moving 1 more space to here. What do we find? Ooh. Okay, so we found the second beacon for number 1. So that means that the fuel tank number 1 is in this location here. So I found the first fuel tank. I just need to pick the bugger up. Okay. Still no dome shelter though. All right, now for the event and equipment phase. Now, this game, I mean, it's taken a while because I'm explaining and talking as I'm playing it. But if you're playing this by yourself, it'll probably go quite fast. Oh no, that's not good. That's really not good. That's really not good. Okay, let's move these out of the way. This is what I've got. I've got 2 events and 1 equipment. Now, I have a problem. I don't need 3 dome shelters. So I know I'm going to get rid of one of those. And the other 2 are events. Now, remember, you can only have 1 event happen. So you look at the bottom number here, and whichever one's the highest is the one that happens. So this is event number 1, this is event number 8. This is the one that happens, so this is discarded. Trouble is that this is going to cost, this is rough terrain, it costs 2 oxygen. Uh-oh. So I'm now down to 3 oxygen. Shit, I'm in trouble. Oh no, let's move this up a little bit, give me a bit of space. So I'm down to 3 oxygen and 5 battery. Oh no, this isn't good. The deck's running out as well. I'm going to have to reshuffle the deck as well soon. Okay. Still haven't found the dome shelter, so I can't use that yet. Ah, nuts. All right, let's continue. Next turn, I need to move. I can move down to here and pick that up. But if this is no good, I need to find a dome shelter badly. I'll move here and then maybe here. I need to find the dome shelter, so I'll move from here to here. Come on. Ah, damn it. And then move across to here. I could go here and pick up the fuel tank, but to be honest, I need the dome shelter more. Oh, and it's still not here. Oh, God. I'm in big trouble. I need to find the dome shelter to get that healing, or the oxygen. Am I going to risk another one? No. 1, 2, 3. Right, let's move these out of the way. Let's see what we got. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Oh, one thing I have noticed here is that the event cards, even though they're the same event, they could have different numbers. Okay, useful to know. All right, so we have a jetpack and we have 2 events. So, do I want to keep the jetpack? Don't know yet. Okay, so 3 versus 9, so the 9 takes precedence. So I'm taking 1 battery damage, or 1 battery charge. So I'm down to 4 and 3. Oof. Now, jetpack. I think healing is more important than jetpack, so I'll keep the solar recharge, I think, for the moment. Still nothing to happen in phase 3. Got nothing to use it on, so we move to the next turn. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. So, again, I could pick that up, but I need to find the dome shelter first, I think. I'm going to go... where to go? Should I go this way or this way? Let's go this way. Okay, so first free move. We're going to here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, so dome shelter, I will use the 2 equipment cards because you can use it during any part of the movement phase. So what do I want to do? Do I want to increase both by 2 or 1 by 3? They're both pretty low, so I think I'll raise both of them by 2. So bonk and bonk. So I'm now on 6 and 5. And I've only got a recharge card left. Okay, so that was my first move. I've got a second move, which I will use to go... I think I'll go... Should I go here? No, let's go here. Let's go here. So this is my second free move. Oh, we found number 2. Okay, sweet. So we found the second beacon for number 2. So number 2, horizontal, vertical. So this is where fuel tank 2 is. Okay, nice. They're close together. So fuel tank 3 is on here somewhere. All right. Do I want to move again? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to move up to here with one more move. Aha! We found the 3rd beacon. The second of the 3 beacons. Okay, but I'll take one battery here. So I'm at 5 and 5. Right. So beacon 3 horizontal and vertical. So bonk bonk. This is where tank 3 is. Right. Now I have to collect these 3 and then get back to here and I can win the game. Yeah, not going to be that easy though, is it? I've got 5 life left. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So the deck is down. We're going to have to reshuffle next time. Right, let's move that out of the way. What have we got? Ooh, buggery, buggery, buggery. Okay, I've got a jetpack, which I can keep because I've only got 1. I've only got 1 equipment so far. So I'll keep them. But we've got 2 events. Let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. Right, I'm keeping the jetpack. So event number 2, event number 4. So this takes precedence. Meteor strike, 1 oxygen. Ugh. Okay, so I'm down to 4. All right. The equipment and event deck is empty, so we have to reshuffle. What do I want though? I want that. I want this thing again. I want the dome shelter again. Oops. Okay, so we are at systems check, system checks okay, okay, next turn, right. I need to move and get these bloody things done, didn't I? Right, let's go, free move to here. Oh, another dome, but I don't have the cards, damn it. Move to here. That's free move. Do I want to spend another one? Okay, so I can get here next turn. If I move there, then I can get these two next turn. Yeah, okay, I think I'll move one extra. And we'll take battery. So I'm at 4 and 4. Okay. Oof. 1, 2, 3. What have we got? Let's move these out of the way. We've got... Oh shit, that's not good at all. That's really not good. Right, what do we got? Okay, so we got a double recharge. Don't need 3 of them, do we? So I can get rid of that. But we do have an event. 2 battery. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Solar wind. That's not good at all. So I'm at 4 oxygen and 2 battery. Ah shit. I can get back. Oh, I can get back 2 battery with the solar recharge. Okay, that's useful. Okay. Alright, so that was the event and equipment phase. Now for the systems check phase, I'm going to use my solar recharge to gain back 2 battery. Thank you very much. I've got a jetpack. Don't know whether that's going to be useful or not. Possible. Alright, next turn I can move twice. So I'm going to move once, so I get tank 3. I move twice, I get tank 2. Now I'm at 4 and 4. I'm not going to risk moving anymore, I don't think. I can pick this up next turn. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, it's going to be close, isn't it? Like I say, I wish this was in near the centre of the bloody board. That's going to kill me being so far away. Right, so we're now 1, 2, 3. We are at the event and equipment. What do we got? Ooh, jetpack. Ooh, jetpack. I can boop. Ooh. Nice. Okay, so we get 3 equipment cards, which is damn nice. That may have just helped me to win the game. Right, so I'm going to keep, obviously, the jetpack. Obviously. And I think I'll keep, again, both of these are damn useful. This could really help. I think I'll keep the satellite uplink. Alright. So we are done with the equipment and event phase. Now we're at system check phase. Everything's fine, everything's dory. We haven't succeeded yet, but we're still healthy. We're at 4 and 4. Alright, next turn. We move 1, 2, pick that up. Then use the backpack, jetpack, which will cost me 1 battery. I can then move to here, and I just need to survive the other 2 phases and I win. So we've got all 3. We've managed to get back to here thanks to the jetpack, but now we have to check and see. 1, 2, 3. Now, I think I should be alright because I don't think I've seen any cards that do more than 2 damage. Famous last words. Alright, so these are the cards we have. If it doesn't kill me, I've won. What have we got? Crap. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. So we've got a satellite uplink, which I could use. But we have 2 events here, number 5 and number 6. And number 6 happens. Suit overheating, take 2 oxygen damage. Donk. We've got a satellite uplink. Right, so now we go to the systems check. Everything's hunky-dory. I'm still alive. I will use this so I can check the top 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can put them back in any order. Well, we're going to be putting all the equipment on the top. 4, okay, 2 damage, 1, okay. So what we're doing is we're putting the 3 equipment on the first, for the first cards, and then we're putting the events second with the most damage at the bottom. So this is how we're going to be doing it, then put them back on in that order. Sweet. Very powerful card, that satellite uplink. Now we go to the next turn and movement phase, phase 1. We are in the same square as the spaceship. We have all 3 fuel tanks. We won, we won, we won, we won. Yes. Oh, that jetpack. If I didn't have that jetpack, I'd have been in serious trouble. Because look, I've got 3 battery and 2 oxygen. Well, that means that's how the game is played. It is a very simple game, but it is very attractive. It's very fast. It flows very well. And it has that element of searching and monitoring and, what's the word? Managing your oxygen and your battery power. The restriction on how many equipment cards you can keep also brings in that element of decisions. Do I keep this or do I keep this? The event cards, I like the fact that they have different numbers. So for example, you could have the same event, but they may have different, different event numbers. So even though you may get, let's have a look, a suit overheat, it may not necessarily have the same event number. So I like that. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that some people have asked whether they can basically double the size of this deck. I mean, I can see the benefit of having a deck which is double the size, where you print out, 2 sets of the cards. But to be very honest, I don't think I needed to. I think this is fine. I think the card deck of 21 cards, I think is fine. And like I say, I was really lucky to get that jetpack. Anything else, I could have had a very hard time getting back to my spaceship. But we won. We managed to get the fuel tanks. We managed to get back into space to go home. Good game. A very, very simple game. I think this is a very good game that you can play with kids, or not play with kids, but get kids to play by themselves. It's easy to teach, easy to learn, and like I say, it's cheap because it's free. You download the file. Okay, you have to spend a little bit of money and a little bit of time printing everything out in terms of card and ink and everything else. But yeah, highly recommended. Now we will be looking at more games from Todd Sanders. He does have, like I say, a very wide, very big portfolio. He has a lot of games, to try out. So we will be doing some more of his games. I've got another 3 in various states of preparation. So we'll be doing some videos on them. In the meantime, guys, thank you once again for being with me for these 100 videos. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but it has been a lot of fun. Recording, editing, uploading, and then seeing your comments and feedback. And it's been a lot of fun. So here's looking forward to the future with more videos, hopefully more subscribers. I want to try and get that count up so I can start getting this channel monetized, because that will help me in purchasing and preparing all these games. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please go to Board Game Geek, download the game, have some fun. Crashland, very highly recommended, very, very simple to play. So guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.